All right, what's up? Welcome to another live stream, beginner live stream here. Let me go ahead and pull up the chat so I can see all the comments. Yeah, man. What's up? Yeah, this is going to be a really awesome stream. I agree. We're going to be going pretty beginner friendly here. And we'll be going with probably a Vuln Lab box again. We'll try to pick something not considered too difficult. All right, yeah, let's take a look. So we got wiki.vulnlab.com, I believe. Let me turn off my proxy. And all right, let's see. Check the recommendations here. Get some music going here. All right, let's see. So we'll go with maybe one of the general pen testing ones. And yeah, one of the ones labeled as junior. Let's see, the last time we did baby. Maybe build could be a good one. Show you guys some CI/CD pipeline stuff, which is something that you see in actual organizations a lot. Actually, that's the reason that I like Vuln Lab a lot, is I feel that a lot of their boxes are pretty real world. You don't want to click on the walkthrough, but usually they have like a little intro about the box or something like that. So, well, yeah, I guess this is the intro right here. Yeah, let's do this one. This one will be pretty good. So let me go ahead and start up everything on my end. So I'm gonna go to the Discord and launch the box. And looks like it's not connecting to the VPN. This is annoying. I feel like I have to regenerate this VPN pack like once a week. Yeah, it looks like that's the right one. But yeah, I might have to regenerate that once again. Oh yeah, this playlist here is like a epic Final Fantasy playlist. I like this one. Let's see. I still haven't played Final Fantasy 16. I heard it's really good, though. I don't know if any of you guys played it. Definitely plan to check it out at some point. All right. Let me regenerate my VPN pack here. I hope my subscription didn't run up. That would kind of suck. If that's the case, then we probably just do a hack the box one for now. Oh, was this? I think it just retried it. I don't think it actually was able to connect, but let's check. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I got the new packs. Okay. They got 5 in parentheses. That shows you how many times I had to regenerate these so far. All right. Stop. Ring dot. Okay. Okay. There we go. So we are connected. Now let me just start up the machine. So for these boxes, what I typically do is just go ahead and preemptively add it to the host file, because you almost always need to do that. So I'm going to do that right now. Probably remove these. IP address. It's not copying for some reason. There we go. So this will be build.vl. All right. Now let's go ahead and start off with basic scan here. Nmap scan, and we'll do verbose, and we'll just do the top 1,000 ports for right now. Default scripts, version enumeration, IP address, we'll save it to a file as well. And we might have to say no ping. There we go. Okay, cool. This is a Linux machine, I think. Yeah, Linux. We got a few open ports already. You're just getting into Souls games. Started playing Demon Souls. Oh, nice. Is it the new, the remake one for PlayStation 5 and that stuff? I heard that remake was really good. I haven't actually played it myself, but I like Souls games though. I'm a fan. I played through Elden Ring as well. I need to play the DLC for Elden Ring. I heard they're coming out with like a sequel game. Same with Hack the Box machines. I also need to add the host to my... Yeah, a lot of times. Because this is a Linux machine and not a Windows, we might have been able to get away without doing that, but may as well do it preemptively. Oh, yeah, my bad. Yeah, thanks for the reminder there. I'm still getting better at remembering this stuff I was not sharing, so there you guys go. Now you can see it. So, all right. We got our initial Nmap scan complete, and as usual with machines on this platform, not too many open ports, although I think we are missing the web server. Maybe it's running on like some non-standard port, so let's try this again with all ports and see if maybe it finds like a web server or something on a high port. Because yeah, initial scan, we got rsync. That's kind of interesting. See if it finds anything different this time. It's like it's having some issues receiving all the packets a lot of times because VulnLab, typically it doesn't seem like they give too many resources to the VM, so you gotta kind of be careful with your how much traffic you're throwing at it. That's interesting. This time it found 53 open. I don't think it did the first time around. Uh-oh. That doesn't look good. Let's see. Well, should be connected. Oh, here we go. 3000. Let's check what's on 3000. Let me grab that IP one more time. A lot of times web servers run on 3000. Okay, this is GitT. Is anyone familiar with what this is for? Like, if you guys saw this, would you know what this is for? Does anyone know? So this is typically for CI/CD. So CID stands for Continuous Integration, Continuous Development. Basically, it's for developers to deploy code and kick off jobs that will feed it through a pipeline. So if there's some kind of like build steps that they want to include when they push code and stuff like that, they can integrate it with a pipeline, and so they can then kick off. It'll build the whole application, run whatever jobs they have. So this is very popular in the software development space. So we don't have any credentials, but a lot of times we can register a user on these. So let's see if we're able to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and try to register my own user. Something like test@mail.com. Just need like a .com address, I think. Set a password. Try to register an account. And it looks like we're able to register one. So now let's see if we have any visibility into anything. Git repo. It's kind of like a Git repo, except, I mean, yeah, nowadays I guess you can do that on GitHub as well, where you can have a CI/CD pipeline. Similar to GitHub, yeah, it's a code repository, but you're able to run jobs, which now you can do that on GitHub as well, where you can have a CI/CD. So yeah, pretty similar, I would say. Let's just start clicking through here and see if we have any visibility into anything. Okay, looks like we got one repository here called build admin. Build admin dev. Build admin is a user, which is probably a pretty high privilege user, is what kind of is looking like here. But if we look at the dev branch, it looks like there's just one file and one commit. So there's not any previous commits. If there were, we would try to dig through that if we could. But let's look at this Jenkins folder. This is like the Jenkins like pipeline file, which is essentially not really doing anything, but we want to see if we could like tamper with this or something like that, obviously. What machine is this? This is build. Build from VulnLab. We'll type it in the chat just in case anyone else needs it. All right, so take a look. Just through all the stuff. And let's go back here as well. And the scan is still running at the moment. So let's start now getting some more enumeration going. I don't want to hammer this server too hard, but I also don't want to wait on the scan at the moment because As you see, it's going to take a long time for this thing to finish. And I do want to look more into this web server here, so I'm just going to kill that for now. And I'm going to run a GoBuster. So let me grab my GoBuster command. And let's just go ahead and start enumerating this. There's a /admin, which we don't, it's probably going to prompt us for credentials, but let's try it. Just gave us a forbidden. Okay, there's a V2. Issues, explore notifications. Let's look at the V2. And it looks like this is some kind of API because it returned JSON. And V2 is also a popular name for API endpoint. It's pretty commonly seen with APIs. So now we might want to fuzz this API a little bit and see if we can find some other endpoints from here. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's tell it to go from V2, try to find what's under here. Now the thing about fuzzing APIs is it will depend on whether you're doing a GET or POST request. It might return different stuff. This is defaulting to GET, but we can see what we can find through GET. And if we don't find anything too interesting, we can move on to look at the POST requests as well. So that's the thing about fuzzing APIs. You need to look at multiple request methods. Okay, there's /token. We could also have used like a different program to fuzz this, like I think what is it, like RustScan or what is the one that I'm drawing a blank right now, but there's some that will do like automatically do recursive where it will go into the next one automatically. Recursively fuzz stuff. Okay, does anyone know, like when you see this, does anyone know like what is this? I can tell just by looking at it, I can tell you what it is. What is this format here? Does anyone know what this is? See in the chat if anyone has come across this before. If you see something like this, what is this? Anyone want to take a guess? So this is actually what is known as a JWT, a JSON Web Token. Yep. Oh yeah, Arun. Yep, Arun got it. Yep, JWT. And so if we want to decode this, we can go to a site like JWT.io, and it will decode it for us. I can just paste this in. Try that again. Copy the whole thing. I think, yeah, that is pretty much it. But yeah, here you can see some different information. This is not really storing too much information here. You can have like a ton of fields in here sometimes, but it will tell you the algorithm HS256, which if it happened to not use any kind of algorithm, then we could straight up tamper with it and things like that. But then you can see like whatever custom fields here. So I guess this is like an expiration time, and this might be not valid before, and then a user ID. So nothing too interesting right there, but that's how you can actually decode JWTs. Now another thing I wanted to look into was rsync, because that definitely stood out to me as something pretty interesting. A lot of times there's like vulnerabilities and stuff with that. Like we look at like Hacktrix rsync. Or I guess it keeps trying to take us to this Hackvisor site now. Let's see if they have anything good. Identifying an rsync server. 873 is the default port for that. I think that's what we saw it on, right? Let's just go ahead and take a look at our TCP scan from earlier. 873 rsync. So yeah, it looks like we got that. Let's see what kind of enumeration we can do with it. Let's see, we got two commands here. Rsync modules, represent directory shares may be protected with a password. This is to list modules. Let's try that. Target host, I guess we put in the host name. Rsync build.vl. Okay, we got one called backups. That is always a good thing to see as a hacker, right? Backups are typically something that are pretty lucrative for us. Just checking. What patterns did you see that you knew it was a JWT? Okay, yeah. Let me break that down for you. So, the way I knew it was a JWT is whenever you see something starting with EYJ, H, like this structure here, this is always the base 64 encoded. This is like the basic 64 encoded version of what JWTs always start with. So if you have a JWT and it's base 64 encoded, you'll always see it starting with like these character sequence here. So that's how I knew. And actually, between each period is a different field. So see how there's three separators here. So there's this section, the second section, and this third section. That actually corresponds to the sections in the JWT. So the first one is the header. So this here is the header. And then this is the payload, the second one. And then the third one is the signature verification. So that's how you know. Yeah, good question. All right, so there's one called backups here. For detailed enumeration of a specific module, the files and permissions. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's look into the backups. Okay, we got a Jenkins file here that is tarred and gzipped. So let's see how we can... Did that download that? I don't think so, right? Just listed it. So let's see how we can grab that. Data exfiltration, here we go. Let's save it to the loot directory. Oops, did I mess with it? Let's see. Oh, it's supposed to be 2 colons here. Okay. See, I think, just looking at my notes here, I think I need R. Let's see what R is. So man, rsync. All right, let's look at the flags here on the rsync command. Tag R. There's a lot of flags, jeez. Okay, hang on. What was that? Relative destination. Trying to find the right flag. Let's see. Sensitive data identified. Enumeration can be exfiltrated using rsync. Let's see. Maybe it down. I don't think it actually downloaded it though. Let's see. Yeah. Try that again. Okay. Current directory. Backups. Build.vl. Unless it's a pretty large file, maybe it'll take a minute. Maybe I should just give it a second. I'll give it a little bit of time. While that's going, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Hopefully this completes pretty soon. Otherwise, maybe look into some other commands here. I think it will download it. I think it just might take a minute. When we looked at it, let's see what what the size was. Oh yeah, it's a pretty large file, I think. Yeah. Seems larger than I would expect, but yeah, I think it is a pretty large file, so this might just honestly take a while. We'll just give it some time to complete. Yep, it actually was running, yeah, so it did eventually complete for us. Let's see what you guys said. Are there any guided machines on Vulnlab similar to the Hack the Box machines? I don't think so, no. I think they're all unguided. Now, you can get some hints, honestly, like if you read the wiki, they can give you some hints on stuff. But yeah, there's no real guided machines. They're all pretty unguided. You can run rsync with stat. Yeah, there's a lot of different flags for it, as we saw, so I'm sure there's many ways to do the same thing. But yeah, that's good info to know. The tac progress. Nice. Yeah, I'll have to keep that in mind for next time. Thanks, guys. Cool. All right, now we have this file here, so let's go ahead and decompress it. So I'm gonna do tar xvzf on this. Let's see. Oh, actually I need to do gunzip. So gunzip this. Well, oh, it's actually not. It's like trying to trick us. It's in some different format. Let's see what the format is. It's actually just a tar archive. Okay. So we'll just do tar xvf. They're trying to be cheeky there with that. All right, so now we go into this. This is Jenkins here. There's some interesting looking things like secret key and stuff. That's what that is. That might be handy for something. All right, let's start grepping through this. Okay. Whoa. That is a lot of data. All right. Okay, there's a config.xml. That actually might be interesting to grep through. Just look through it. Looking for any kind of credentials and like configuration files or anything like that. I could also Google this as well because Jenkins is a third-party software. Actually, let me do that. See where does Jenkins store credentials? Okay, let's see. Hang on. See what XML files there are. Okay, it stores it in bcrypt, Jenkins bcrypt format. It's like a special format. Maybe I can grep for that. Oh, here we go. Wait, how did I not see that? Oh, because this is in a different location. It's under users admin config XML. We got a password hash here. That's what we're looking for. So, this is hashed though. So we're going to have to crack this, try to crack the hash in order to actually use this. So this is hashed by the JBCrypt hashing algorithm. Let's look that up. See how to unhash Jenkins password. Let's see. Because we have like keys here and stuff, so we should be able to use some of the stuff here to actually get the contents of this. I'm gonna look how to dump Jenkins credentials. Here, I'll pull this up on screen. Accessing, dumping Jenkins credentials. So most pipelines require secrets to authenticate with some external resources. All secrets should live outside of the code repository and should be fed directly into the pipeline. So in that case, that is what they're doing, because we didn't have that in the repository. Jenkins offers a credential store where we can keep our secrets and access them in a couple of different ways. The way CI server stores credentials are by nature insecure. CI servers cannot use one-way hashes like bcrypt. Oh, really? Okay, that's interesting. So they cannot use one-way, so they have to be able to basically reverse them. Those secrets need to be restored to their original form. Okay, so it's kind of like inherently insecure. Interesting. I didn't know that about CI servers. So they like literally cannot use one-way hashes. So this is actually a two-way encryption. So this is not actually a hash, really. It's more of like a encryption because it's not one-way. By definition, a hash is a one-way function, meaning you can't, if it's secure, you can't reverse it to the original form. So this is more encryption. Okay. So Jenkins encrypts the secrets at rest, but keeps the decryption key somewhere on its host. Why? Because it has to, right? It has to be able to decrypt it. So since we have access to all these keys and stuff here, we just need to know which one to use, and we should be able to decrypt it is the idea. Builder box from Hackbox. Yeah, I think I've done that one. It's been a while. Whoa, hacker man going on. Yep. Let's see. I'll try to catch up on some of these messages here. How long does it take to really get good at this? I've been doing CTFs for a few months now, and they don't seem to get easier. I would say it depends on the platform. I was talking to someone about this the other day, but really, if you're doing Hack the Box, for example, the way that Hack the Box is designed is it's testing your ability to research stuff. So the idea behind Hack the Box machines, and this is why Hack the Box will never feel easy. Well, it's not supposed to. If it feels easy on Hack the Box, you're cheesing it. You're cheesing the system. Because the way that Hack the Box is designed is it's supposed to present you with really obscure stuff that most likely you're not familiar with and you haven't seen before. Because it wants to test if you can apply the research and figure it out by researching stuff. So for most of the Hack the Box machines, if you just happen to encounter stuff and know what to do immediately without having to research, that's actually a sign that like you're doing it in an unintended way. You're actually kind of cheesing Hack the Box in that case. Whereas something like OSCP and the what is it called, the OS Proving Grounds and all that, is more of a test of your enumeration. That's why the OSCP boxes have like tons of open ports and different stuff like that. They're not really testing your research as much. I mean, they do a little bit, but really what they're testing is your methodology. So they want to see like, okay, if you have a limited amount of time and you have, you know, all these open ports and all these servers, how efficient is your methodology to find the vulnerabilities? So it's a very different setup, a very different style. So with something like OSCP, you could get like quote unquote good at it, where you could pretty, you know, fairly quickly find the vulnerabilities and things like that if you really tighten up your methodology. Whereas something like Hack the Box, you know, no matter how many CTFs you do, unless you just happen to have already done the thing before, which again, that's kind of going against the purpose of what it's testing you on. You know, aside from that, it's always going to feel like you're not good at it, even if you are. So that's just something to keep in mind. So you may never feel like you're good at it if you're measuring yourself against like Hack the Box, for example. But I mean, ultimately, if you're able to figure it out eventually, then I mean, you're good enough, right? So let's see, secret key, not so secret. Yeah, exactly. Well, they leaked the source code to us. That was the real initial vulnerability, right? The rsync not requiring credentials. So if we were reporting this on like a pen test or something, that's something we would definitely want to highlight. Reminds me of the builder box. Yep. I think, yeah, there was one, a CI/CD one on Hack the Box. I do remember that. I'm sure there's a lot, actually. There's so many Hack the Box machines at this point. Secrets folder can have credentials.xml. Okay, yeah. Good to know. But yeah, okay, it encrypts the secrets at rest, but the decryption key is somewhere on the host. Anyone who can create jobs on Jenkins can view all secrets in plain text. We can't create jobs yet, but probably when we get access to, if we can get access to that build admin account, which it, you know, the directory this was in was called called admin. So this is probably, my guess would be the encrypted hash of the build admin account, because this is in admin, right? So that would be my guess. Let's go back to this and see what we need to do here. Okay, this is showing you how to set up a lab or whatever. So we'll skip over this part. Okay, let's just keep skipping through this. Okay, how it stores the credentials. So yeah, credentials.xml. And then we got, okay, the Hudson util secret decrypts credentials.xml entries. This file is itself encrypted. So we're gonna first have to decrypt this file, which we should be able to do that using the master key. And then we can use that to decrypt credentials.xml. All three files are located inside the Jenkins home directory. Yeah, we did see these, I'm pretty sure. Because Jenkins is open source, someone already reverse engineered the encryption and decryption procedure. If you're interested in the details, yeah, this would be a cool blog to pull up. Oh, we got pop-ups. Hang on. There we go. Oh, well. Looks like that was taken down or something, or I just can't access it. Okay. Let's look for some tools. There should be a tool, because if it's already reverse engineered and all that. Can you use the secret to decode the JWT? No, I don't think so. That's a separate thing. That is separate of the Jenkins stuff. Okay, here we go. I found one here called Jenkins Credential Decryptor. So a command line tool for decrypting and dumping Jenkins credentials. So it's going to do exactly what we were just looking up. Okay. with the release. Yeah, this one here. Oh, downloads. So what kind of file is this? This is itself an ELF. Just gonna make this a shorter name. Make it executable. All right, let's see what we need to pass into this. Actually, I'll name it what they name it here so I can copy this full command. Okay. I'm going to need to reference this directory here in a second. All right, let's just move it into that directory. It'll be a little bit easier. Wait, which directory? I need the master key. Which directory was that in? Okay, it's in here. Okay, copy it there. Let's see, does it... The credentials.xml is going to be in a different directory. Let me copy that over too, right? That was in which directory? Users, admin. It was in config.xml, right? I believe so, yeah. Copy that. Oh no. Hang on a sec. Put it in secret. Yeah. Okay, we should have everything here now. See what happened here. Some kind of go error. Oh, do I need to run this? Let's see what is the usage. I'm missing something that I need. If you're worried about binary sending credentials over the network, run this in the Docker container. No. So I got the release, so it should. Let me see if I just try to run this by itself, what happens. Okay, that ran fine. Should have all of these files. Let's see, you got the master key here. Got this, let's see, Hudson util secret. That's here. Oh, okay, yeah, it's called credentials here, but it's actually called config here. Let's change this. Let's look at this again. Did have a different name. I'm hoping that I actually grabbed the right one. Admin at build.vo. Yeah, let's look for this credentials.xml. Maybe that is a separate file. Do a find. Don't see any credentials.xml. So, okay, there's multiple config files. So we were looking at this one earlier. There's also a couple more. Jobs, build, jobs, dev config. Let's see what's there. Jobs, build, jobs, dev config. Dev. Get this config file here. This one's referencing Jenkins stuff. Okay, this one actually says build ADM. Credentials ID. Repository dev. So this one is specifically for what we're looking at. Yeah, one sec here. All right. See what you guys say. What's up? Log in cybersecurity. Is that similar to a report? What are you talking about? This? No, this is quite a bit different than a report. But this is a pretty good blog post here. Okay, they even mentioned this decryptor tool. Oh, this actually might be the guy that wrote the tool. Yeah. Don't think config. Yeah, I don't think it's the same either. I think we need to find a different config file. So yeah, let's look at some of these other config files. So we had a few different ones. What about this one? Oop. Where did I run that from? Let's see. I ran that from Jenkins configuration. Okay, let's look at this one. Okay, build admin with a password that has some kind of encryption applied to it. So this actually is kind of interesting. Maybe we could crack this one. Can look through a couple more first though. Let's look at this. This is the same one we saw earlier. This password hash. And then we got... We looked at this one. We didn't look at this one yet. Yeah, nothing really there. Okay, yeah, let's try the... where is it? This one here. Because this one looks a little different. Oh, and this one actually mentions Hudson util. So it could be this one, I'm thinking. Yeah, let's try this. I'm going to say copy this here. Just to confirm. Yep. Oh, huh. Wrong directory. All right, hang on. Secrets? Yeah, okay, this is where I meant to copy it. Let me try that again. And then I gotta tell it. Okay. Oh, there we go. Got it that time. Yeah, so that was the one we had to hunt around a little bit here. But we got the password now. Get 1234 exclamation point. This is for build admin. So let's go ahead and try those credentials now. And yeah, sometimes, yeah, you just got to tinker around with stuff. Let's see. My understanding, reports is demonstrating, am I competent for the job position? So what's the purpose of a blog? The purpose of a blog is sharing, well, there's a few things, right? So one is just sharing research with the community. Because, you know, when you share your research, then it elevates other researchers, and then more people find stuff and the field advances faster, and people are more willing to share things with you if you share with other people as well. So that's one purpose of it. And then you can also look at it from the purpose of getting a job and stuff like that. Obviously, if you're contributing a lot to the community and doing good research and stuff like that, then that also demonstrates competence, right? But a report, I would say the main purpose of a report is not to show competency for a job. The main purpose of the report is to actually deliver the outcome of your pen test, right? It's mostly for your clients, mostly for the people in charge of fixing the issue, the executives and all that. There's a number of audience members. I mean, unless we're specifically talking about like portfolio project reports or something like that. But yeah, I mean, a report typically is not really for demonstrating competency on your end. It's for the client, right? All right, let's try these credentials. And it looks like I accidentally closed out of the window. Build.bl 3000. And it's taking a while. Yeah. Good questions though. Yeah, keep them coming for sure. Feel free to use it as a bit of a AMA as well. All right, if this will load, we could try this out. Hopefully let me check the Discord. You know, it says you got 2 hours on these, but it might have expired. I feel like after 1 hour, a lot of times it will expire. Oh, there we go. I don't know what happened there. Let's try to sign in. And we'll say build ADM. There we go. That was able to log us in. And let's see if we have any new permissions here. We could probably modify that build. My guess, and this is because I've messed around with CI/CD stuff quite a bit in the past, is that we probably will write like a reverse shell into here and then kick off a build. And then it will give us code execution. That'd be my guess. So let's see if we can like modify this build. Let's see, edit file. I'm just going to do something pretty benign to start off just to see if I'm able to. Yeah, it says commit changes. Let's see if it allows us to. First, this needs to load. I have to refresh the page. Okay, let me try refreshing this. Some JavaScript promise rejection. Looks like the application's having some issues here. That's the thing. That's the only downside to some of these vulnerable boxes. Sometimes they're a little bit like unstable and stuff. Man, this is running really slow. I might actually have to like restart the box. Come on. There we go. Okay, let's just try to modify this line. Just to see if it'll let us write changes. Or to say, like, do something. Commit. So this is Groovy script, which is the same thing as Jenkins, because this is using Jenkins behind the scenes, as we saw here. So a lot of times they use Groovy scripts with Groovy. It's a full-on like programming language. You can write like you can write Bash and stuff in there. So we can actually write in like a reverse shell in the steps here. But first, I just want to see if it would let us modify the file, which it did. So now the next step is let's try to turn this into remote code execution. So the way I'm going to go about doing that is I'm going to set up a Netcat listener on port 443. And we got this IP address. And let's write in a reverse shell. So I'm going to use this extension here called Hack Tools just to easily generate a reverse shell on the fly. So I'm going to use, this one is like one of the most stable ones, the name pipes method. I'm going to use name pipes for the reverse shell. So here, instead of bin true, is where I'm going to run the command for reverse shell. Let's just do it as like a multi-line. So yeah, that should be valid. And yeah, that looks good. So let's run that. And this is going to not be instant, I don't think, because it needs to actually kick off the job on the back end, and the job needs to complete. And then it should reach out to our server. So now we wait. And hopefully this machine is stable enough to give us the reverse shell on the first go around, because if it's not, then we're going to have to tinker around with this quite a bit. I've seen this, I've seen issues happen a lot on VulnLab in general, where like you use the right payload, but sometimes it takes a while to get your reverse shells. I've done some with friends, and it's like I got the reverse shell, but like they just couldn't get the reverse shell, and it took them like many tries. So we'll see what happens. 2 commits to branches. Let's see if we can see like the progress on the build. Not sure what section that would be in. I'm gonna click through here while we're waiting. Uh-oh, I hope we get this reverse shell on the first try. Okay, we got a fail here. There's a failure building this commit. Let's see details. And maybe that requires some other port that is not, we don't have access to. But yeah, it looks like the job failed. I don't know why it failed. But yeah, this should be valid. So you can try it. The multi-line should be fine, but you can try it like this. That's what it was originally. Yeah, let's just monitor that for failures. Let's just watch. Okay, I think it's in progress. That's what that means. It's queued. Yeah, and it's failing, and I don't know why. This should be valid here. As it's showing us our changes. Was doing the Cypher one for Season 7. Was a pain. Yeah, it's I heard it was pretty tough. I haven't tried it yet. Yeah, bin true doesn't really do anything, I don't think, right? Let's see. Hang on. Let's just do nothing. Do nothing successfully. It was just, I think they were just trying to make it abundantly clear that the script doesn't really do anything, and you just need to override it. Can try like a different payload, like one of these other ones. Probably stick with one of the bash ones. Can I modify this? And yeah, the site's having some issues here. not crashed. That's the thing. Yeah, this box, I remember like one of my friends was working on this one, and he said it took him like so many tries for the exploit just to fire off, even though he had the right one. So some of the vulnerable machines are like this, unfortunately. Server not found. Change the main branch. Yeah, I'll try to, like, once I can access the server. Try to go. I need to try restarting this. Okay. I have some weird errors here. Try to like reconnect to the VPN. There we go. Okay, yeah, we can try the branches. There's only one branch, which is the main branch. Yeah, we were on the main branch. Oh, this has this tick in the command, which might actually throw it off. So this has the single quotes in the command, whereas this doesn't. My guess is that would mess with it. Let's try like the multi-line. But yeah, that actually might throw it off. And the stage, I don't know if the stage matters. We could change that back to do nothing. Yeah, watch this. Oh, taking your OSCP in an hour. All right, yeah, good luck. Let us know how it goes. Best of luck to you. I don't know why we're getting... Oh, we got the reverse shell. Sweet. Yeah, I don't know. That's just one of those ones where it's like sometimes it just randomly doesn't work. Now, let's see if we're in a Docker container. It says root, but I don't necessarily trust that yet. Which Python 3? Looks like we don't have any... Yeah, this is like... this looks like it's probably like some kind of container or something that we're in. It would be my initial impression, like a Docker container or something like that, because as you see, we don't have access to like too many binaries and stuff, so we can't even like ifconfig or see what the IP address is or anything like that. I think there is a way if you cat, is it like proc net route? Yeah, we can see here some information. Yeah, it looks like probably a container though, is what I'm thinking. These are the different network interfaces and a hexadecimal version of the destination and the destination IP addresses. So if we go look at the the scans. Now is when we should be running. Now is when we should probably run the like full scan. See if we can get that to complete. We should have done that earlier, to be honest. Well, let's run it now. Didn't hear anything. Okay. I'm just looking up to see if there's any way to check which ports are listening from within this container without netstat. I don't think... Do I have access to SS? I don't think so. Yeah. Okay, here we go. This could be useful. Local, remote, but I need to see the port numbers. Yeah, one of the challenges with these boxes are they have very little resources, so it takes very long to perform scans on them. And we have pretty limited visibility in here at the moment. You can look around in other directories and stuff to see if there's anything out of the ordinary, but we'll see. Everything looks like it's just related to Java. Jenkins user, everything else is like the standard built-in stuff. I think so, right? Well, yeah, there's your user flag. That's an empty file, the Docker env, I think. Maybe if we check some of the proc IDs. Wait, what? They keep changing. Interesting. Now it's for something with Jenkins. Yeah, this this scan is gonna take quite a while. Let's try 752. Just trying to get an idea of what's going on this container here. I think there's a... Okay, here we go. When you look through proc IDs, you can see like what command line command was launched the process. I want to see if there's any useful information in there. There's been bash. Nothing in the command line for that one. I thought there was a 758. There was, but not anymore. Let me just see the command line for these other two. 749. The long Jenkins command here. And then 752. Yeah, nothing too interesting here. There's 8. I mean, we could try 8. It's just for Java, I guess. Yeah, we are. This is gonna. I'm not sure if this scan is gonna even finish in time for the stream. That's the only thing that I'm kind of worried about. So one thing that we can do is kind of skip ahead here a little bit, just so we're not sitting here waiting on a scan to complete. Which is also why, yeah, like I said, I should have had followed my best practices for enumeration and had that going constantly in the background. Let's see. Go to TCP. Yeah, I know. Oh, I had the port numbers where in the I thought those were the IP addresses. Let's see, we can go back and look at that again. So cat, hold up. Here. It says local address and remote address. I'm assuming. Oh, okay. Yeah, I do have them here. You're right. Yeah. I didn't notice the semicolon. Yep. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So let's decode these into IPv4. I'm gonna actually feed this into an LLM and just tell it to give me the IPs and ports in decimal. I'm gonna throw this into DeepSeek. See if it can do it for me. Okay, yep, it's able to do it, looks like. Yeah, thanks for that comment, by the way. I skipped over that. It's still decoding them for me. Okay, so we got some local hosts, some all interfaces. So the all interface ones we saw before. Like, oh, here we go. There's an 8080. I don't recall seeing that in our scanning. So, and then there's some ephemeral ports that are super high number. So, okay, yeah, this is actually pretty useful. So, what it's looking like is there is, let's see. 3,000. Okay, yeah. 3,000 we'd seen before. So yeah, we can try this port 8,000 that it had. So let me try to expose that. Because right now I think it's only listening on in this container. Let's try to expose that out by using Chisel to forward it. And then see if we can connect to it from there. So I'm going to try Chisel. So we can probably go ahead and kill this then. Because I don't want to be like hammering the box with stuff. Because they don't have a lot of resources. So I think I have Chisel on this box. So I'm gonna run a chisel server from Kali first. So chisel server port 8000 reverse. So okay, we started that, and I gotta edit my proxychains.conf file. Proxychains4.conf. Go down to the bottom. And yeah, I just need to make sure that I have this line, which I do, for the SOX5 proxy. So that's good to go. And then on the target, we can run the chisel client. So I guess the tricky part is going to be getting that one over there. You think about how to do this for a second here. And let's see, does this have curl? Maybe if it has curl, we could probably do it with that. Okay, it actually does have curl, even though it's like super limited. It does have the curl binary at least. So let's try and use that for the port forwarding. So the way we can do this, we need to host this file. So Python. Let's grab the IP first, and then we'll do Python server running on port 80. Grab my IP, and let's try to transfer the file over using curl. IP address, chisel, tag, is it tag O? Okay, we have that. chmod plus X, make it executable. And now we can run the chisel client. Let me look at my notes for that command. So we'll do chisel client, and then I think, oh, the IP address of, yeah, of my, I think it's of my Kali. I think that should be right. And then 8000 SOX for the SOX proxy. That should connect. Okay, we got a session there. So now we can use proxy chains to try and connect to the services that we have exposed now. So there was a MySQL service running. It looked like when I decoded those the port numbers, because I saw a 3306. So let's try and connect to that via proxy chains now, since we exposed everything out with chisel. So proxy chains -q MySQL, and let's just try to log in as the root user, and we'll need to provide the IP address of the Docker. So let me go grab that. That also is what I decoded in the networking information. Should be this right here. that, and might have to tell it to ignore SSL, but let's just try it like this. Empty password, and we're connected. Perfect. So from here is where you just start running your MySQL enumeration commands, and this is where it comes down to how well do you know SQL. Yep, we had curl. Yep, just got here. Hey, what's up, Xenomorph? All right, yeah, now let's start enumerating the databases and stuff. So let's say show databases. And we got some custom ones. So let's use Power DNS Admin. Or we can use MySQL. We can look into both of these. Power DNS Admin sounds pretty custom, so let's look into that. And then show tables. Select everything from user. Okay, so we got admin. I think this was just for the Gitsy. I don't think that one's going to be as useful for us, but actually it might not be. It actually might be. So let's try and crack that just in case. So I'm going to copy this. Let's try to crack it with like John the Ripper or something. So we'll say John word list. Let me create the word list first. So let's go to streams, build, loot, hashes.text, that in, John, and let's go with rock you. Where did I go wrong here? Let me copy this again. Decrypt, blowfish, no hashes. Sure, where does rock you? I do have that, right? Let's see. Sure. Yeah. I'm going to try and crack this on Hashcat real quick. That's what I typically use. So I'm just going to do that on my... I have it on my host system, so I'm going to do that on my host system real quick and see if I can crack this. It's probably like something with the format that I would need to change for John. And I forget, because the format between Hashcat and John are a little bit different, and I always get them mixed up. But Hashcat, for me, is what I'm more used to. So let me try that real fast. Okay. Okay, Hashcat. And let me... see if it can guess the hash format. If not, I'll have to go look it up and choose it. I'll see if the auto detect will get it for me first. Yeah, looks like not. I'm gonna have to look this one up real quick. I think it's like bcrypt or something, right? Looks like bcrypt. I'm just gonna Google this on the Hashcat example hashes. I'm gonna look that up. Yeah, bcrypt, so 3600. Okay. We'll try that again. Mode 3600. And hang on 1 sec. And all right, yep, got it. The password should be Winston. So the next thing that I'm thinking from here, now that we have credentials, is to see if we can find the power DNS. It should be like another server that we need to expose. So let me go back to that the decoded ports and see if I can identify another interesting port here. There's only one other one that I noticed. It was 8081, which could be like some kind of web server running this power DNS server or something like that service. So let's just try and see if that's open. We'll scan it with Nmap and proxy chains to confirm. Okay, yeah, that is open. So let's see if we can create a SOCKS proxy into browser and access that through the web browser. So the way you would do that is you can go to Foxy Proxy, and it looks like I already have one here. Let's check my options on this. So I have the SOCKS proxy, and this is how I have it configured. SOCKS 5, localhost port 1080. That's my SOCKS proxy. So that one's good. You can leave it as is. So I'm just going to set my system to use SOCKS. And then with that, what we can go ahead and do is we can scan. We can then do like a port scan and then see if we can access it. First, let's see, before we port scan or anything, let's just see if we can access the server on that port, because it might actually be on a different one. So I'm going to put in the IP of that Docker container and then port 8080. I think it might be mapped to something different. Yeah. What did we put here? 1805. Oh, 05. Okay. Admin Winston. Let's see. Okay, that is not the credentials for that. We want to look around a little more. Let's see if we... Let's just scan like the top... because now that we have proxy chain set up, we can actually access ports that we couldn't access before. So let's do a scan on... Because it's going to go slower through the proxy. But we can scan like the top 10 ports. Something small that would be able to complete fairly easily for us and give us a lay of the land. There might be some other ports. We just need to find where the service is. So if we do proxy chains, Nmap, and then say top ports equals 10, the top 10 ports, and we'll scan that on that initial Docker container. Okay, we got something on 80. That's new. So, I mean, really out of the top 10, that was the only one. So let's check that. Because we have our SOCKS proxy running, so we should be able to access it. Yep, and that's the Power DNS service. So now we put in the credentials. And OTP token. Don't have the OTP token. Let's see what happens if we leave it blank. Oh, okay, I guess we don't need it. Well, that's nice. Gotta love it when that happens. All right, let's see what we can do from here. So this looks like a DNS server dashboard. So let's just click through a little bit. Back to the dashboard. Just doing a little enumeration on this site here that we have access to now. Okay, these are our zone records. So we got git t, intern, Jenkins, pdns, pdns worker. Well, if we can modify these, looks like we can add our own records and things like that, right? I could add a records and stuff. So what are you guys thinking when you see this? I'm thinking we can combine this with the RSH thing. Is what I'm thinking. Because there's a pretty interesting article. Let me see if I can find it. This is something that I've exploited before. Let me just Google it. If I can find it, I'll pull it up for you guys. Yeah, here we go. Let me show you guys this article. So, there's this technique. It's been around for a while. Oh yeah, let me turn off the SOCKS proxy for a second. So there is this technique here with the legacy RSH protocol where RSH used the .rhost files and Etsy host equivalent for authentication. These methods relied on IP addresses, and here's the interesting part, DNS for authentication. However, spoofing IP addresses is fairly easy, especially if the attacker is on the local network, which, you know, we have access to the DNS server in this case, right? And at the time, it could even be done remotely. Furthermore, the rhost files are stored in the user's home directories, which is typically stored on NFS volumes. The security of NFS at the time was poor. So end users commonly wanted to use RSH to open a terminal window in a remote computer. So this is like the predecessor to SSH, basically. They wanted to run arbitrary applications from the remote server, including editors, graphical tools. To do this, they needed to set the system user's display environment and blah, 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 blah. SSH differed from RSH by setting display. Okay, yep. It also automatically created secure authentication tokens from X11, event rogue servers, blah, blah. So anyhow, this is a legacy remote shell tool, right? That's what RSH is. And it has this inherent weakness where it relies on like the domain name system and stuff for authentication. So if we can control the domain name system, then we can actually use that to get command line access to the actual server outside of any kind of Docker container or something like that. So that's what we're going to go ahead and try and do from here. That's what I have in mind. So what's interesting is that there should be some specific DNS servers that are able to access RSH within the rhost file. So what we want to do is we want to go and read that file and see which servers that would be. Oh no, we're gonna have to re-exploit this, aren't we? Because I just thought about this. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Because, yeah, I had that chisel going. Let me think for a second here. Build. Yeah. Gonna kick off the job again. And hope that we get a shell on the first try again. I'm just gonna add like a random space or something. I think I just need like a small change for it to kick off the job. Oh no, I didn't start my listener. Oh yeah, I did. Okay. I don't see anything here. Hopefully it kicked it off. Maybe I need to do a bigger change. Wait, why don't I see anything here? Oh, okay, cool. I don't know. Well, I mean, as long as we have the reverse shell. So let's go into /root. Said the user's home directory. We're the root user here. So let's look at this rhost file and see what they are. So we got admin.build.bl and intern.build.bl. And we're going to have to reconnect to the chisel host. So it's a chisel client. So let's do that. And grab that command. Okay, reconnect to our proxy. And then reconnect to the socks proxy. Refresh the page. Okay. And so we have intern here. The other one was admin. And we don't have admin here, so we can actually add that record and then use that one. That's what I'm thinking. So basically with the rhost file, what it's doing is it means that the RSH client is going to trust the domains both intern and admin. So since intern's already configured, let's configure admin and point it to our IP address of our Kali machine. And then we should be able to authenticate through RSH to that machine. So in order to do that, let's add the record and call it admin, a record, active. We'll just match the TTL here with the other ones. And now we'll just grab our IP address. And save. Previous record not saved. That's what I'm trying to do. Hold up. Try it again. Or maybe that is 60 seconds. It's weird. Not sure why it's not letting me save this. It's like a caching issue. Yeah, I think there was some weird caching error, so I just went ahead and opened it in a private window, which is basically a window with like a cleared cache. So then it went through that time. So yeah, now that we've done that, let's try and go ahead now and see if we can connect to RSH. To do that, we can use a utility called rlogin. Remote login makes a connection with the remote login daemon running on host. So this will work for connecting to an RSH server. So rlogin, and then we'll try root at the IP address of the machine. Let me grab that. Oops. rlogin, I meant. And we're in. So now we can read the root flag. And we've solved the machine. Pretty much just in time. It's just about at the 2-hour mark, so. Awesome, guys. Well, yeah, any questions on that? Let me know in the chat. So yeah, glad that we were able to go ahead and solve this box by the end of it. And the next live stream I plan to do on Monday, in 2 days from now. And in that one, we'll be tackling... we'll probably go back to the Hack the Box machine we're working on last time and see if we can crack the rest of that one. That's what I have in mind. But yeah, any last questions that anyone has before we end the stream for today? Just let me know. All right, yeah, looks like not. Well, all right, guys, thanks for attending, and I will see you, I guess, on Monday. Later, guys.